What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I am Magicide. Welcome back to our campaign here playing the original Guild Wars. We are pretty close to the very end. I was incorrect before, might I add. I want to actually make a slight correction. Was that we actually have two missions over here. This is not the final mission. There's the Hell's Precipice mission. Completely forgot about that. Yeah, I didn't think we were quite there at the end, but I know we're close. So we got Abaddon's Mouth and then Hell's Precipice, and that is the final mission. Now, since we last left off, I've done a whole lot of stuff. Okay, so first of all, I've done a lot of cartography. If we come over here, I've done all of Snake Dance. I did the last little remaining bit of Dreadnought's Drift. I did all of Grent's Footprint. I did try going into Sorrow's Furnace, but you really need another human player to actually do that. Let's see here what else. I did all of Whitman's Folly, including getting Port Sledge, and then I also unlocked the Delgemore War Camp, obviously. And Whitman's Folly, I did my first VQ. So my first Vanquish was actually right here in Whitman's Folly. It's really easy to do. I went ahead and did it. So we did that. If we take a look at my actual title, let's see here. We want the Cartography title. 93.2%. We're getting there. We're getting there. I know that this area here, this mission, I think accounts for like 1.3%, but I really want to pay attention to the overall percentage that I have because, you know, I'm really curious to find out when I have like, say, 99%, 99.x%. I'm really curious to find out what the map actually looks like because I remember reading the wiki when it came to the cartography titles, and there is like some margin of error. There's like some wiggle room, if you will. So you don't actually have to go through every single unexplored portion of the map and explore everything exhaustively. You don't have to be, you know, completely thorough with it. There's a little bit of wiggle room, but I want to know how much. I really want to know how strict it is. So I want to pay attention to that as we get closer to that. Now, the other thing I did was, you know what, like the last mission was really embarrassing for me because I kept dying. You know, it was stupid, and I got sick of it, and I knew I needed to get off my ass and actually look up some decent builds, and I did. I found like an actual like 7 hero build, and that's pretty much what I modeled this after. The problem is that it requires like some ritualists and it requires some mesmers, and you don't get ritualists until like later on in Nightfall, and I think you get there's a ritualist you get from factions too, if I'm not mistaken, and then the mesmers are kind of the same thing. Like you get some mesmers later on in the Nightfall campaign, and then you get some in Eye of the North, but that's pretty much it. And I don't have access to those guys yet because we haven't started doing those campaigns. However, there is something that you can get. It's called a mercenary slot, and basically you pay this money. There's like this deal for 3 mercenary slots. It's like $20, and basically what you could do is you could take one of your characters and turn them into a mercenary, and they turn them into a hero for somebody else. You know what? And that's what I did here. I went ahead and created a ritualist, and let's see, 2 ritualists, and I took this Mesmer and made her a Mesmer Paragon. There's a way to kind of game the system, so to speak, if you really wanted to investigate doing the whole mercenary slot thing. Basically what you do is if you have an empty character slot, if you make yourself a PvP only character in the class that you want, you make the character and then you immediately go register them as a mercenary, and then you log out with that character, delete that character. You could still, that character will still show up as a mercenary, so you don't actually have to use necessarily, you know, keep one of your character slots completely used up at all times. You can just create one, make the mercenary, delete the character, and the person will still be a mercenary. The only reason, or the only way to get rid of that person as a mercenary is to actually go into the mercenary registrar and delete them henceforth. So that's what I did with 2 of these characters here. I pretty much did that. I made a PvP only characters. I actually had to buy another character slot because all my other ones were used. So what I did is went ahead and used a fairly standard build here. It's pretty much, you know, Signet of Spirits, your SOS build, and then of course we've got our Signet of Ghostly Might. And the problem that I had is that I had to take another character, and I had to go out and cap these elite skills because I have barely touched the Ritualist class. You know what, like I always recognized that the Ritualist was a very strong class to play as when factions came out, and you know, post factions years, but I just never got into it. I always thought the class was kind of gimmicky to me. Like it was fairly a straightforward class where you just basically summon a bunch of spirits. I know that there's like other unorthodox ways of playing them, you know, without actually summoning the spirits, but I don't know, I never really liked factions, so I just Never really played much of either the Assassin or the Ritualist, but as far as these other people go, let's see here. I don't have Panic yet, so I wasn't able to make her a Panic Mesmer, so I made her Energy Surge. So here, Elias is I think my Minion Bomber. Or maybe Ogden is. Ogden is my Minion Bomber. I forget what Elias is. He's something or another. Let's see here. Talcora, you're pretty much like a Smiter. And then Vec is kind of like my throwaway person. He's just the extra. Normally, I would either have another healer in, or maybe somebody that's melee. But I decided to put Vec in because I made him a water mage, and he's got some whatchamacallem, some snares. And basically, that really works out for me because I subbed in Chaos Storm, and Chaos Storm is fucking ridiculous. It's so awesome, especially if you're doing it on somebody that's been snared. However, we do have an elite skill here that we are going to need to cap, which is going to be Fever Dreams. It's a Mesmer skill. Actually, it's a Drider boss that we need to kill. So Chaos Storm, unfortunately, is going to have to be replaced by something. Otherwise, I'm kind of I really enjoy the skills that I have. I could get rid of Cry of Frustration, but I like to have at least one interrupt spell on me. So I think we'll do that. Get rid of Chaos Storm. The other thing is that since I actually have a really decent hero build, I can go ahead and just start doing some VQs. Just a quick FYI out there. I don't really want to focus too much on doing VQs right now. Like, I'm very much motivated to play the game, but I want to be realistic with myself, and I know how I get. What I get is I get really super motivated to play something, and I end up playing the living dog shit out of the game, like heavily for like a short span of time, like let's say a couple of weeks, and then I get really burnt out because I get just so like fatigued from playing it. Like, you know, you just do that one activity over and over and over again over this short span of time, and I'm hoping to use this burst of gumption to play to not like do some of the busy work like bullshit like VQs and stuff. That's something that I kind of want to do when I just want to pick up the game and like screw around with it for like an hour or two. And I have been giving some thought about what we're going to do after the Prophecies campaign. Actually, I think we are going to definitely gun after Eye of the North. I've never played Eye of the North, or I've played very, very, very little of it. And it's kind of the continuation to some extent with the Prophecies campaign. So I would really like to do that. I would like to go after Nightfall because there's a whole suite of heroes you can acquire in the Nightfall campaign. But I think we're going to do Eye of the North. So yeah, there's that. I guess you could make the case for saying that Alona, which is down here in the Crystal Desert, if you come over here in the Arid Sea, there is like this like little snake dude over here that will actually transport you to a very late game Nightfall, and you can kind of go back and forth. So you could say they're technically connected because they are through the desert, but we're gonna stick with probably Eye of the North. Anyways, let us actually enter this mission. I think we are good to go. I don't think there was anything else I needed to discuss other than I finished doing all the mapping of the Crystal Desert. I did a big chunk of the southern Shiver Peaks. I'm almost at that that point in the game, by the way, that I have all of the elite skills. I almost have them all for the Prophecies campaign. What I do after that is I will look up a list of the skill trainers for this for the Prophecies campaign, and I'll visit every single one of them and just scroll through them and make sure that I have all of the Mesmer and Elementalist skills, even just like the little ones, because I want to make sure that I unlock everything and make sure that I have access to everything. Very important to me. Let's enter our mission. I'm not entirely certain how long this mission will take. Now that I have like my super badass hero build, I'm assuming that we shouldn't have any problems here. So we got to open the door of Kamali. Disable the seals to power down the Onyx Gate. Climb the path to Abaddon's mouth. Break the magical seals holding the closed door. Close the door of Kamali. And then there is the bonus mission here is we have to get the Ghost of Leah Stone, and we got to help her get to some docks or whatever. But we're not going to do that yet because it's a huge pain in the ass because she's really fragile and she dies, and what we're going to want to do is backtrack to get her. I will definitely make mention of the fact of where she's located at. Oh, and by the way, something I really want to do real quick. I forgot to do this before. Let's go to options and go to sound. Raise the music up a little bit. Okay. So we got the Vizier. Also, you know what? Really don't need to be listening to my alliance mates here, so let's just turn that off. What is this? Chimera of Intensity. Your skills recharge 50% faster. Spell costs 50% less energy. We have more movement speed. Oh, so we... Where's the Vizier at? Huh. Interesting. Anyways. Let's get started here. Yeah, this is gonna be like stupid easy. We're gonna be able to like pretty much just mow our way through this place. Okay, as far as this like this castle goes, all right, first of all we're gonna kill the seal. Let's do that first. Let's give it an energy surge, and then of course the unnatural signet. And whatever, there we go. We'll just do Cry of Frustration on it. Although Mistrust is really good, because if it does manage to actually get off a spell without us countering it, we'll actually do some damage. Next spell, that target foe casts on one of your allies fails and deals. Okay, so this is actually an interrupt. Interesting. All right, let's get our people in here. Call off these goddamn Mersats, because they suck. And I hate them. There we go. Made the Thunderclap fail. Let's see here. We got Mesmers. Definitely want to get rid of them. Probably should be doing my whole Arcane Echo nonsense. It's kind of like, eh. Meh. Right, Mesmer. Let's do Mistrust. Overload. This fucking Jade Armor is pissing me off. There we are. Yeah, with all these spirits here, makes this go just so much easier. So I think we're gonna have to be kind of like cleaners to some respect here. Is that we need to actually clear everything out. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and use this. The Scroll of Hunter's Insight. Don't really need it, but it's been causing me some problems. Sometimes you get bugs in this game where you'll have, like, say, a stack of some sort of, like, experience scrolls like that, right? And then you'll get that oddball one that just doesn't go in the stack for whatever reason. Like, its item code is different. And unfortunately, so you'll have, like, 2 different inventory slots on the 2 different types of scrolls, even though they're the same. Stupid, right? So I pretty much had that, and I want to get rid of it. I also got like a random like blue or yellow die that did that to me a long time ago. And I just never had a reason to like, you know, dye anything that was blue or red. Or actually, I don't think it was red. I think it was blue or yellow. And I do have to say, just a quick FYI, you know, even though I adjusted everybody's like classes and skills and stuff, I did update their individual items that they're carrying. So if we come over here, like I did equip them with some decent stuff. I did not put any like insignias or the other shits on them, like runes or anything else. Just kind of left them as is. Oh, I was wondering why we're getting blasted. Like I can pretty much just sit back and not do anything. Okay, so Leah Stone, from my understanding, is like somewhere right over here. So what we probably want to do, since we're already up top here, is get rid of these jade bows. Hopefully without aggroing that group down there. And we want to take out this group. Be really easy. Just energy surge, empathy, unnatural signet. Yeah. We'll just get wiped out. Awesome. You know what? I can actually just probably put my people down there just to destroy them. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to take out this ether seal, and then you'll get access to it. But we don't want that. We don't want to do that yet. Over here. Over here. Come on. Deck the jade bows, please. There we are. I don't know why, but I actually do collect the Mersat tokens. Seems a little ridiculous, but I love them. I don't know why. It's just like one of those like little item things that I just have to have. Okay, I need a heal here. Come on, fools. Yeah, I know. I got really bad placement here. But man, that Ray of Judgment, it just fucking melts these guys. I love it. That's the good thing about the snare too. It really works well with the Ray of Judgment. You know what? I'm gonna keep my people over here and deal with them. I'm gonna actually try to get these jade bows, like right now. Just go ahead and aggro them right away. Look at these guys, they're getting crushed. Okay, actually I should be doing overload. Love that AoE damage. Oop. There we are. Oh, we had an ether seal over here, duh. Duh! That's right. It ain't no thing. We got this. Here we are. Mistrust is really good, actually. Means I don't have to really concentrate so much on Cry of Frustration. I mean, I guess I just kept misreading the thing because I was under the assumption that it just basically did something that was like, oh, what the hell is that one skill? You cast it on them and it does a whole fucking shit ton of damage when they cast a spell. Not, maybe it was Mind Rack. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right. Nice. Alright, so I could come in here and actually mess up all those guys, but I think I'm gonna hold off on that. Because we like I said, we need to do some backtrack. We got two different bosses over here. Mercia the Smug and Sarlacc the Judge. Looks like we got a Necromancer and a Mesmer boss. Okay. Very well. Crushed. We also have an ether seal up here. Should probably get rid of these guys first. Be really nice and easy. Let's make sure we're targeting the boss there, gentlemen and ladies. Let's get rid of Sarlacc. Then we got the Jade Bows. Double energy surge, baby. Love it. I have my little peons deal with the rest. All right, let's see. Let's do a little bit of IDing. Man, I just keep getting these absorption runes. Like, I'm filling up on them. You would think that the absorption runes would be worth more than what they are. It's actually kind of disappointing on how little they're worth. But I'm starting to, like, really accumulate them. Excellent. Climb the path into Abaddon's mouth. Break the seal. Right. Right. Okay. Got the one lonely Mersat monk. There we go. Managed to engage him in time. That was perfect. There we are. Now he's dead. Yeah, I know. Shouldn't rush in there like that, but I want them chests, baby. It's unfortunate that we got another rune. I'm really sick of these things. A rune with an insignia. Okay, so I believe we just continue up here, although I think the bonus path I think works its way up this way up here. So what we're going to want to do is absolutely clean that out. You know, truth be told, with the hero build that I have right now, I could probably just get away with doing the whole bonus, but, you know, I don't really want to have to chance it. Oh, you know, that was the other thing that I did, was that the only other mission that I didn't have the bonus on was the Caves of Sorrow, because that was the one with the dwarf that was in some like ice cave thing, and then there was like another dwarf that was like later on in the mission over here, and basically you just had to talk to the first dwarf and then tell the second dwarf that the first dwarf is okay, and then you get the bonus. Remember that? And they had like the siege engines and shit, and it was a real big pain in the ass. Yeah, I went ahead and did that. It took me a couple of tries too, by the way. I just kept getting annihilated every single time by those goddamn siege engines. But I completed it, finally, so I don't have to worry about doing it over again, except when we're doing the vanquishing, because, you know, that's the whole thing about the vanquish. It's not just the explorable areas, it's also the goddamn missions that we're gonna have to do all over again. That's gonna suck, but this magical build here should work out to our benefit. Alright, there we are. Okay, so that's not the way we want to go. We actually want to come up this way and deal with all these hydras and the flesh golems. So if we take a look at the map, basically the bonus route is going to take us like up and around, and I think we need to bring Leah Stone like over here somewhere. So once we clear out our way all the way to the west coast of this place, we should be good. We should probably target the hydras first, because they suck. There we are. Because the hydras have like those really big explosive AoE fire skills that suck ass and don't want to have to deal with that. Yeah, see, we gotta walk across all the lava. Let's make sure we keep our mistrust up. Alright, you know what? Why don't you guys like say go right over here, because your attacks are not doing dick. There we are. Perfect. Alright, let's get the actual flesh golems themselves. Excellent. Okay, what I need to do is make sure that my people actually come up here, because otherwise, you know, if they engage these driders here, there's a good chance they might stick in the lava and just attack, which is really stupid. Looks like we have a drider boss up here. I forget the name of the one that we want, so I get the Fever Dreams elite skill. Man, I'm having like no problems whatsoever with this build. I love it. It's so good. It's not even like a complete orthodox build, because I have a couple of these guys. Like for instance, I think some of these people, like I think Ogden here, I needed him to be a mainline necromancer, so I actually had to make a few compromises. But overall, it's working out really well. Actually, Plexus, yeah, that's the guy we want. Perfect. Very, very good. All right, so let's actually let's cast Mistrust on him first. Oh, God damn it! Got double Fever Dreams. And he's dead. There he is. Showing. Let's see here. Foes in the area also have any new conditions that target foe acquires. Inflicts Dazed. Dazed is really good. I was reading about doing VQs, and Dazed is a really important affliction that you really want to have on your people. Or not on your people, but you want to be able to cause it. Still getting purple bullshit. Successfully retaining my lockpick, which is great, because that's actually working towards our lucky title. And I think the more lucky title that you have, the greater your percentage is for, I think, unlocking boxes and shit. Although I could have swore there was something I did. Oh, that's right. The treasure boxes, so when you go into an explorable area in hard mode, when you're trying to do a vanquish, those boxes, I think, can only be opened by lockpicks. That's right. And then it gives you your actual percentage of what it would be to keep your lockpick. That's right. That's right. I was gonna say, I could have swore there was a time recently of me opening up a box and it gave me a percentage, and it was when I was cleaning out Whitman's Folly. So now that I actually have my elite skill here of Fever Dreams, don't have to worry about fighting any more of the bosses. Although we will, because, you know, there's always a chance that they drop something, but we also get the little bit of a morale bonus. Let's do, say, Mistrust. And Energy Surge. Sure. You know what, might as well. It's only 10. Nice. And we get a key. I mean, I'd prefer to use my lockpicks, but, I mean, a free key, hell yeah. Fucking keys are expensive. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to, say, keep you guys over here. We're going to get the other Drider in the mix. I'm so confident in this build that I don't even care. I'll just, like, I'll over-aggro groups. Just so I can wipe them out quicker. Wow. That fucking Drider melted so quick. Didn't even have a chance to actually melee them. Okay, you guys are way up there. Okay, it looks like we got a monk Drider over here, so we'll, I guess, just try to do our mistrusts. Go ahead and do Fever Dreams. It's basically the way I'm going to be able to do this. He does have a Restore Condition. Although that's alright. I mean, because this bitch is going to do Smite Hex, like, constantly. Because I'm just going to constantly hex him. Okay, so that's how we get around these guys. So if I put my people over there, I'm wondering if these Driders will actually try to... Yeah, they're actually going to come around. Yeah, I'll take that. Perfect. Alright, and then... Oh, fuck, they're not going to actually follow me. I just want them gone, because I don't want to have to try to do the bonus mission again. I really don't want to have to do it. Just want to do it the one time. So what is this? Foes in the area also have any new conditions? Okay, so basically, if the foes in the area already have a condition, they'll suffer this condition as well. If I'm this is really worded poorly. Foes in the area also have any new conditions that target folk acquires. Oh, okay, alright. So your target, if your target has a whole bunch of conditions, you cast this and then it'll basically spread all of them. But then it gives your foe dazed. If that foe has 2 or more conditions. Okay, that makes sense. Right. So it's like, it's kind of like similar to that one other skill that actually transfers all of these conditions to everybody. I forget what it's called. I remember I used it very erroneously early on in this campaign. But I forget the name. So we got another Eidolon. And a unique Behemoth, Crag Behemoth guy. Okay. Very well. Come on. Let's get rid of the Eidolon first. Let's go ahead and make sure we get our Arcane Echo up with the Energy Surge. And then we can start wiping this guy out. Probably do Overload. There we are. So I got the Spectral Exorcisms again. I don't need it. Stupid. You know, to be quite honest, I don't even know if there was the one guy that appears that actually infuses your armor. Ah, that's right, we have worms. This would be really easy. So all these things do is attack. I remember, like, really, the first time you fight these things, like, if you ever try to go south from Beacon's Perch to try to get to Drox. Remember how scary the worms were the first time you tried doing it? I remember. It's like it's burned this fear of those things in my mind. So every time you hear them, even when you're well then more capable of actually, you know, completely annihilating them, there's still something about them just popping on the ground and making that noise that's still, like, you know, makes you a little shook. So I'm looking at the map for the bonus, and apparently we're going to be fighting a Elementalist boss first before we get around to the area that we need to be in. Besides, walking around and aggroing these worms is precisely what we want to do here. We also have a chest over here. Pretty sweet. Let's get our empathy up. Make sure he doesn't get off his troll ungent. Okay, let's go ahead and get rid of the driders here. There we are. Okay, so we have to go across that bridge. So wait, what the fuck, man? Isn't the bonus like supposed to be like right over here? Or maybe it's up here. Oh, that's right. Okay, it's this tree. If you notice that, like, let me zoom in. You see that tree? It's a little verdant here. You got the greenery, and nowhere else. Yeah, that's where we need to take her. All right, so let's backtrack. We got to go kill off those other Jade and Mersat foes that were still in that like little fort castle thing, and then we got to bring Leah back over here. I suppose I could probably pop one of these guys to help me run a little quicker. This, you know what? Actually, this is a shortcut right here. Not only is it a shortcut, but it'll allow me to uncover these middle territories. Yeah. Like, I suppose if I really wanted to. Yeah. Let's just go this way. Die. So happy I went this way. Yeah, the only problem is that we have this like little bit of lava here that we gotta cross. And only this little area. Like, I remember reading the wiki and saying that, you know, that was one of the downsides of having to transport Leah across the map was the lava. So I was under the assumption that there were going to be more, because it's been a really, really, really long time since I've last played this mission. I swear to God, I think the last time I played this was probably back in like 2005. So that's why I keep consulting the wikis. Not only that, but it's really handy to actually have the map on the. You know, I'm running two monitors here, so you know, you have the game on one, and then I have my browser open on the other. And it's really handy to have these maps. I know some people are gonna, you know, sit there and probably give me that scornful look. Sit there and say, "What the fuck, you cheese dick? You're sitting there, you're cheating, man. You're just using the guides. Come on, don't be a wiener. I'm just using the map." Besides, you know, like, I'm trying to be the elitist completist here, and I really want to work smarter and not harder. Yeah, that whole aphorism. I don't want to have to do these missions a second time. I mean, other than the fact of doing them, you know, on hard mode. I'd rather just do them the one time on normal mode, you know, get the main mission and the bonus done in one shot, one kill, and we're done. I think we'll go after the ether seal first. And then these jade armors, I guess we could do like an empathy overload. But the ether seal, that's what we really want to concentrate on. Here we are. Yeah, that final ether seal is the one we want. I love the soundtrack to this game. That's why I wanted to make sure that I turned up the background music. Just those, like, the cello is like the heavy strings. It's just such a, like, a deep sounding, like, almost like kind of content, but still somewhat like melancholy, like a wistful or a pensive sounding, like, tracks. I love it. The soundtrack to this game is just phenomenal. And no, I'm not one of those people out there that, you know, that's all about like movie soundtracks and scores and whatnot. I mean, there are some composers that I really like say like Clint Mansell or like Cliff Martinez. Those are my two favorite. I mean, as far as like film goes. For video games, I want to say that probably like definitely Michael McCann. And then the guys that did the Diablo soundtracks, like I think Matt Ullman. It wasn't just Matt Ullman. I think there were like 3 guys that did like Diablo 2 soundtrack. Those were excellent. And not only that, speaking of which, I think it was Matt Ullman who went on to do the Torchlight soundtracks. If I'm not mistaken, I think he did Torchlight 2s. And you can really tell that it's the man, because when you go into the one act, the desert, the one act that has the desert kind of theme to it, that definitely sounds like some straight up like B-sides track from the Diablo 2 soundtrack. And I forget the name, the man's name that actually did this the soundtrack for Guild Wars. Just that the name is skipping my mind. As a matter of fact, we were discussing that the other day in my little alliance here. Somebody else had commented on how much they really love the soundtrack, and we're sitting there talking about the composer. Oh, the name skips my mind. Fuck. I'm gonna have to look that up after this episode and probably put it down in the description. I'm gonna have to try to remember to do that. Or maybe, you know what? Maybe I should try to get my my editing skills a little bit buffed and actually put it, you know, across the screen in text. Maybe I should try doing that. I think maybe I will try doing that. So as you can tell, you got Leah Stone here. She doesn't move very fast. She's got, how many hit points do you have? I have no idea. How many hit points do you have, dude? It's not telling me. I don't know how many hit points she has, but she's weak. She'll die really quickly. And this is pretty easy, straightforward bonus. I'm assuming that you didn't mind backtracking. I think some of the harder monsters to kill in this area weren't like the little minion mobs of like driders and stuff. It was pretty much the big ass worms. The other thing is that she moves really slow, so you know there's always going to be that point where you're going to outrun her, and unfortunately we're still, you know, under the condition of the birthday cupcake, which makes us move quite a bit faster. You know, 25% isn't quite a bit faster, but in this game, I mean, you're already moving at a goddamn snail's pace, so that 25% makes a very noticeable difference. You don't want to get too far away from her where her name starts to get grayed out, otherwise she just straight up stops. And we already backtracked the one time, and we don't really want to have to do it a second time. And unless, of course, there is like that random worm around here. Oh shit, looks like we came up here for nothing. Unless there's like a random worm up here, we should be a-okay. Shouldn't have any issues. I'm really curious about this whole spectral essence. I know that the Eidolons are supposed to drop this, but I mean, I don't know if it was like an oversight on ArenaNet's end that they, you know, decided to, you know, throw in the spectral essence, but you know, in a mission like this, it's kind of like a Chekhov's gun kind of thing where, you know, if you're going to give it to me, then it needs to have some sort of use. And speaking of which, you know what, when you come over here to the Crystal Desert, there is like some forbidden or ancient weapon over here, I think in the Arid Sea, yeah, right up here in this like little town. And apparently it had a use, I think back in like the beta days of the game, but then it didn't have a use after it because it granted you a whole bunch of armor and weapons and shit and made the game like broken. So they took it out, but they kept the item in there, and it was like one of those items you pick up. So we got the bonus. The grave. You'd think that there would be like an item or something here you'd interact with, like a gravestone, but no. My soul is free, thank you. I can finally be at peace. Alright. Oh, I don't know if I'm supposed to bring this with me. I really don't know if I'm supposed to bring this with me. I would really hate to actually complete this mission. Or I mean, like, get to the very end and realize that I had it. It's required for something, and then I have to go back and pick it up. We already have the birthday cupcake, so you know what? I'm gonna carry this fucking thing around. Oh, I'm supposed to go over this bridge here. And anytime I get into a battle here, I'll just drop it. So I can actually, you know, like, attack. Still have this chest over here. It's pretty sexy. Alright, let's go ahead and get the chest. Let's use our key. Another shitty purple item. And like I said in a previous episode, you really don't want to be farming items here in Prophecies because they're pretty shitty. They're inferior to, like, say, like Nightfalls or Eye of the North. Because the Eye of the North can have, like, inscriptions. And not only the inscriptions, if I'm not mistaken, I think the weapons and gear that you can get from, like, say, Nightfall and Eye of the North, I think they have the possibility of even having more modifiers, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, I'm not just talking about the inscriptions either. I'm talking about just regular modifiers. I think anyways. So there is a necromancer boss down here that we don't have to fight it. I think it's completely optional, but we're gonna do it. At least there should have been. Ah, there he is. There's the ancient seer. Ah, okay. So that's what the spectral remains were for. So I did have to carry them. Smart. Very, very smart. I'm wondering if this is like another chance to actually get your armor infused, which would be pretty fucking stupid if you haven't done it yet. Hey, dude. Yeah, he just takes... Wow, that's retarded. He just takes the spectral essence. So it's another chance for you to infuse your armor. Okay. Alright. That was stupid as fuck. I can't believe that. Like, why would you wait until now? Like, let's say you just did it just to do it. Like, why would you wait? I mean, you're just taking unnecessary damage from all of their spectral attacks. So somebody's inflicting some kind of condition on this thing, so the fever dreams actually has a relevancy, believe it or not. Dazed is pretty good. Okay, we got just some jade armors here. I want to try to keep them in a nice pile like this, because then they go boom. Take all that wonderful AoE damage, like so. Come on, give me gold, motherfucker. Keeping my lockpicks. Actually, I really wonder the strings in this track in particular, in the score. I wonder. Some of them sound really fucking deep. I know the cello can go pretty deep, but I'm guessing it probably a double bass. That's what I'm thinking. And no, you know, something, it's not like I'm like a music nerd, you know, or something like that. I just really love strings. I love them. Some of my favorite instruments. Actually, my favorite instrument is the piano. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the piano technically constitutes a string instrument, doesn't it? Or is it its own thing? Isn't it? Maybe it's just called keys? Probably sounding like an asshole out there to somebody that actually knows, who is the music nerd. So if I am screwing that up and I'm just talking out of my ass, then, you know, just disregard everything that I just said. But I do love them. I mean, that much was true. Of course. Come on, concentrate on the goddamn monk. Get rid of her. Come on, damn it. God damn it, get rid of the monk. Come on. There we go. Got Ray of Judgment on her, and then we got this other monk over here. I'm gonna crush you. Yep, there you are. Now we can get rid of these guys. Because Because my plan of attack is to always target the monks first, because they're going to be so concentrating on healing themselves. So that way, any of your other guys and all of your spawned minions and whatnot, like, they are probably going to get a couple of licks into the rest of the guys, which means they're going to continue to take damage, which is great. You're basically over inundating the monk, which is precisely what we want. Now we're just like cruising through the mission. Astounding. So we got jade bows, so we're gonna get flanked. Okay, it's fine. I'll take on both of you bitches, motherfuckers! Alright, let's do a whole arcane echo. Energy surge. Can you guys like target this guy? The ether seal, please. Somebody interrupted me too, by the way. There we are. Come on. Right over here. Got a whole bunch of jade armors we gotta chew our way through. Oh shit, I really didn't need to do that again. Oops. Alright, let's take them off of their shits. Look at that. Raid Judgment just melts them. Yeah. God damn, it's so good. And that's why I wanted Vec in here, because he's got like some of those snares. I mean, snares, so to speak. It definitely slows them down, which I guess technically is a snare. Let's see here. We gotta go across this bridge, right? But we also have some area around here. I don't think there's anything down here. I think this is just territory to explore. Total dead end here. And I'm also kind of thinking about like stopping the cartography related activities until I'm ready to straight up do some vanquishing, because I think that if you do them hand in hand, you can really maximize your time. Except for some of these missions. The missions are the one exception to that rule, I think, for me personally. I'd rather get the missions done and completely explore them. So that way I don't have to worry about doing them in a thingy, in a VQ. Optimus Caliph. Let's see here. You are an Elementalist. This one's a warrior boss. So let's do empathy and say overload. Right, back that ass up, motherfucker. Die. There. Perfect. Smashed. Look at that. And we gained a level. Some more skill points for me, which is great because, you know, when I go back to get all the normie skills, I'll actually have these skill points to accommodate everything. Definitely have the money for it, so I'm not have to worry about that. There's the Vizier. The Vizier of Kilbron. I'm pretty sure it was just the big warrior boss, the destroyer guy. I think that's the only person we had to worry about. Break the magical seals holding the closed door of Kamale. At last, the door of Kamale. The seals hold our allies. Break them open and bring this fight to an end. Roger Dodger. So we got a whole bunch of ether seals. Awesome. Precisely what we wanted, is to have to deal with a million of these fucking things. Let's make sure we get our whole arcane echo energy surge up, because that deals crazy amounts of damage. Of course, we got seal guards. Okay, well, let's annihilate them, even though they're only level 10. It ain't no thing. Look at that shit. Smashed. Yeah, with my lineup. Let's get rid of this guy here. Also need to keep him my whole Arcane Echo Energy Surge combo. Because it's just so good. Could also do Fever Dreams, you know. Because dazed. Then we have a Mersat Guardian. Okay. Wipe him out. He did. Got some really great energy management right now. Ouch. Okay, we have one left. Who's gonna die. Make sure we keep that mistrust up on them. Come on. Take out the fucking Ether Seal. Should be really paying attention to my whole Cry of Frustration as well. Because we can get that extra damage in there. There we are.
Yield to the scepter of Or, I command you! It worked. Just as the prophecy said, it worked!
Oh no, Vizier Kilbran has betrayed us. Look at this fucking thing. Pathetic. Not gonna get our gold. Showing! But we win. A lot of exploration that I could have done there before we summon the whole Guardian dude. Or Destroyer.
To Lion's Arch. To Thunderhead Keep. And you will go to Rin. Destroy them. Tyria will be mine, all mine.
And there you have it. Oh, look at that. We actually did have an item there. Unfortunately, it doesn't pick up your gold. But at least it picks up the items. It's probably some trash. Makes us some money. So we are sitting in Hell's Precipice, the final mission of Guild Wars. Which is nice. We managed to actually finish this this episode and this mission under an hour. We got the bonus and everything else done. I will end up having to come back here and probably doing a little bit of exploration. You can tell there's a little area over here, and then there's definitely probably a few little smidgens around the sides that I have to redo. But I'm pretty sure I have to do the Ring of Fire as well, because I remember seeing that there were a couple little edges that I had to do. I'll worry about all that bullshit some other time. Might end up just doing that on my own anyways, you know, like not doing a VQ obviously, but we'll see. I'll see you guys in the next episode where we can complete our Prophecies campaign, where we defeat all of the missions in Tyria here. And well, then we I don't know, do we start Eye of the North, or do I screw around and do some VQs and stuff? I'm thinking we probably should do some Eye of the North stuff. I'll see you guys for the next mission and the next episode. Take care and have a good one.